Hi and welcome to this full moon spell along. This is the tutorial that goes with the Crank Club full moon protection spell kit. A full moon is all about releasing negativity and anything that no longer serves us anyway. So this spell is to kind of embrace that phase of the cycle and to help us to boost that cleansing energy and to protect us over the next month and beyond and protect us from any negativity. It's believed that in order to welcome positive energy and get ready for the opportunity of the next moon cycle, that we release anything that's draining our energy or anything that's kind of negatively impacting our energy at the moment. So that's what the full moon is all about. And that's why it's a really good time to do a spell like this that protects us. So during the spell, what we'll make is a little spell jar in the jar that we get with it, and then the idea of this is protects us moving forward, but it's also really good to keep nearby as a little reminder as well, just every time you look at it, just a reminder to not get dragged down in any negativity and to just remember to try and keep your energy positive going forward. So you can do the spell for yourself or you can do it for somebody else if you want to, and the only difference is that if you do it for somebody else is that you just need to inscribe their name on the candle before you start the spell, and you can do that with just either like with a pen that doesn't work or with a needle or a pin, whatever you can use to kind of gently inscribe the person's name, and then that's the only difference, and then you can give that as a gift to somebody. It's quite a cute gift. So let's make a start. So first thing to do is to lay out all the ingredients and all the things that you need for the spell, just so that you've got them to hand and you're not messing around trying to find them. I've got exactly the same things here that come in the spell kit. This is one of the spell kits that I've used, so you will have exactly the same thing if you've bought the spell kit. So just to go through them all, we've got a black candle, which black candle is for protection, so that's what we're trying to do, is protect our energy, so it's a black candle that we're using. We've got an incense, which is a sage and a Palo Santo incense, so this is to cleanse the energy in the room and in the area before we start the spell. That's really important to do. You can also use a sage smudge stick as well if you've got one of those to hand. We've got some fresh lavender, and this lavender is actually from my garden, and it was grown being watered by moon water as well, so that's extra good. We've got some selenite crystal, which is the crystal of the full moon, the crystal of the moon, so that's also got cleansing powers, and also it's like protects our energy as well. And we have some cinnamon as well, and this little bottle of the essential oil blend that we're using for this spell. So that's everything. You don't need anything else apart from what you get in the spell kit. The only things I've got this little, it's like covered in wax, I've used it quite a lot, but this little incense holder, and it holds incense in a candle, so anything, but you can use anything that you can stick the incense in, so even like a cup or something like that, or what I use quite a lot is plants, like house plants, to stick incense in. That's quite good. Anything that's going to hold your candle still as well, and also a lighter, so we need a lighter as well for that. So that's it really. Everything else comes in the kit that you need, so we'll make a start then. The first thing we do, as I said before, is to just cleanse the energy in the room, so cleanse the area, and in order to do that you just need to light the incense. Obviously be careful with anything that we're using fire within the spell, just to make sure that you're using it safely and that there's nothing in the area that's going to catch a light, or there's nothing that's going to fall over. So there we go, it's just common sense really. So just light the incense, and then you just let it smoulder out, and all you're doing is just wafting that smoke just around, just to cleanse the area and just to kind of settle us in, ready to start the spell. So you can just kind of leave that to one side, just put it in the incense holder there, you can see that, put it on that falling over. There we go. Okay, so that's the energy just being cleansed in the room, and that's us starting to get into the swing of the spell. The next thing to do is to use the essential oil blend, and this is frankincense and lavender oil blend. And this energy, this is for grounding us, this blend. So all we do is put a few little drops on the palm of your hand or somewhere nearby if you're particularly sensitive to it, and rub your hands together just to warm the oils, and then take a nice deep breath in through the nose, blow that out, and then just repeat that again. Just inhale that scent, and what that is, that grounds us, that gets us ready for starting the spell. So frankincense is really good essential oil for grounding and for cleansing, and lavender is for calming and for peace. So that's what we want to do. We just want to get our energy settled, ready to start. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is to light the candle. So this black candle, like I said, is for protection. It's just a normal spell candle, but you can use any black candle. Yes, I'm just going to light that and then just put that safely in the holder there. You can put that in anything at all if you've got that can hold a candle up. So this is the jar that we're going to do the spell in. So it's just a little glass jar. If you're doing this with anything else, you can use any sort of jar if you're doing any spell work, but these ones are particularly nice just to keep around. We'll just take the cork out ready. And we're just going to add the rest of the ingredients just one at a time into the spell jar as we go. And all we're doing is as we're going, as we're adding them, is just remembering that intention to cleanse any negative energy and just feeling that as we're going. So I'll just talk you through what each of these different things does as we go through. So we've got the lavender, and like the essential oil blend, the lavender is just calming and peaceful, and that's what we want. We don't want any negativity. That's what we're trying to protect from. So we're just going to calm our energy with that, and just start to break off some of this and just put it into the jar as much as you can fit in, really. Just gently poke that into the jar. It smells lovely as well. So all we do with each of these ingredients is just put them into this jar. Okay. And lavender's really easy to grow as well, if you wanted to grow your own. So there we go. So just put some of the lavender into the spell jar there. And see? So that's for calm and for peace. The next thing we're going to put in is some cinnamon. And we just need to put a little pinch of cinnamon in. And the cinnamon is for focus and for energy, to give us some energy. So it's just to kind of help us to stay positive and not get dragged down by negativity. It just gives us a bit of a boost of energy. So put some cinnamon in there. You put as much as you want in, really, but that just goes in there as well. And then the last thing we're going to put in is the selenite, which you might need to break up if it's a particularly big piece, just to kind of get into the jar there. There we go. Break a bit more. So just put the selenite in there as well, and that's a really lovely crystal. So it's known as the crystal of the moon, but it's really good for cleansing and for positivity and for setting like an intention as well, like a positive intention. That's what we're doing, is setting an intention to be positive and to be protected against negativity. So that's really good. So that's everything that's in the spell jar now that we need in there. So then we just seal that up again with the cork, and then now what we do is we just say the blessing out loud, and it's only a really short blessing. You can say it out loud or you can say it in your head. So what I'll do is I'll say each line, then leave a little pause for you to say it out loud if you wish, and that's what we're going to do next. So the blessing is: ancient moons, lend your power. Bring me peace upon this hour. I call upon your strength and might. Send me protection under the full moonlight. So that's the blessing. And then now all that's left to do is to seal that spell up and to seal the intention of protection inside there. This is the bit that gets a little bit messy. So all you need to do is we're just going to seal this spell up with the wax from the candle. So carefully, and I suggest you put like a bowl or something underneath this because it does kind of go everywhere, is we're just going to drip the candle wax on to the top of the jar and just let that run down the jar. And what that does is it just seals it. That's what we want whenever we do a spell jar. We want it to be sealed so that it seals the intention and the energy of the spell up inside it, and it can't be opened to release it, in theory. So we just see how that just drips down the side gently. Maybe just turn it around a little bit. And that's all we do, is just drip that on there just until it's sealed, until you've got enough wax on there that you feel like the jar is sealed up. That's all we do, just gently turning that round. And then that's it. Once that's done, all you need to do now is just leave the candle just to burn out on its own now. So make sure that it's somewhere safe where you're supervising it and you're not going to leave it to kind of get knocked over. And we just leave that just to burn out and just to think about that intention of protection from negativity. And then once the candle's burnt out, you've got your spell jar, and like I say, you can either give that to somebody as a present if you've done it in their name, or you can just keep it nearby, just a reminder and just to protect you from any negativity. So that was the full moon protection spell along. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know how you found it. Feel free to comment below this video or drop me a message and let me know. And we've got plenty more different spell kits coming up over the next few months, and I hope you'll join me in another spell ritual soon. Yeah, good night, God bless.